From paradise-like environments to hellish fields, volcanoes are as beautiful as they are terrifying. While there are places where the Earth gives off gigantic amounts of contained energy and become areas of interest for geologists, they also seem to draw attention to strange things. Here is a collection of scary beings seen on volcanoes. Number 4. Humanoids. Popocatepetl, the second highest volcano in Mexico at 5,426 meters. Some time ago, it was classified as an active volcano, making it a potential danger to the population. But that's not why it's on this list. Recently, a rescue team claimed to see a group of giant creatures climbing the slopes of the volcano at incredibly fast speed. So fast, in fact, that there was no doubt that they were not human. Guillermo Videos, better known as Hurricane Videos, is part of that rescue team. He reported that the creatures were about 6 feet tall and that it was not the first time he had seen them. He said he had been able to distinguish them better before. They were very thin, brown in color, and did not wear any clothing. He indicated that on one occasion he saw the creatures climb a stretch of the mountain that would normally take about 4 hours in just 10 minutes. He said they have amazing dexterity. Most impressively, the tracks of these strange beings have been found in the snow. They're so big that no human could have a foot like that. In the space of the heel, there is always a deeper hole, which indicates the possibility of a claw, probably to provide greater grip. What are these beings? Nobody knows. But there is one fact which many link to their discovery. At the end of 2019, the volcano erupted more than 28 times in one day, and activity continues to grow. There's every reason to believe that Popocatepetl has been a hotbed of UFO sightings. Number 3. Witches. In Oregon County, there is a volcano that has been dormant for millions of years. It is now known as Malheur Butte, although it used to be called Kennedy Butte. However, it is known that even before the Europeans arrived in America, the volcano was a place of worship for indigenous people in the area. Already in colonial times, legends began to spread about witches who would gather on their hillsides to perform their black magic rituals. In fact, the disappearance of hundreds of travelers over the years have been blamed on witches. Even today, locals claim that human sacrifices are performed and that farm animals disappear mysteriously. One villager, he reported that not once, but countless times, he had seen the famous witches. On clear nights, he says, one can see robes cutting through starlight, swaying in the wind and moving in odd ways. Sometimes, when they notice your presence, they begin to laugh, but not a fun laugh. More like nervous laughter, full of evil, which makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. The villager claims that they have never done anything to him, but he maintains that it is because he has not messed with the witches. Others, he says, have not had his good sense. Number 2. Shadow people. Surprisingly, witches are not the only thing that disturb the tranquil peaks of Malheur Butte volcano. Called shadow people by some, as well as imps, referring to mythological creatures often related to small demons and who have gathered many more reports than the witches mentioned above. They are described as small, mischievous humanoids, completely black, hiding in the undergrowth, trees, and rocks. Some reports say that they have scared off travelers, to the point of chasing their cars, screeching and howling in a horrible way. In 2010, a girl was with her friends camping near the volcano. During the first night, strange noises were heard outside the tent, as if something very small was scuttling around. As the area is remote, they thought it was some hare or mouse and did not pay much attention to it. The strange thing came in the morning, when they found the equipment they had left out, meticulously stacked in the same place, poised in balance. It was impossible that any animal could have done that, and civilization was too far away for anyone to have bothered to pull a prank on them. But the thing that made their blood run cold came later. On the second night, they heard the strange sounds outside the tent again. The girl poked her head out, and there it was. At first she thought it was a raccoon, but when her eyes adapted to the darkness, she saw that it was something completely different. The creature stopped to stare at her with two large glowing eyes on a humanoid face, but with a resemblance to a dog. It was difficult to tell what the rest of its body looked like, except that it stood on two paws, or legs. The young woman, paralyzed, then noticed that there was not one, but at least 24 of them, and they surrounded the camp. The campers locked themselves in the tent, listening to noises all night and without even shutting their eyes. They left at first light and never returned. Number 1. Sheriff. As you know, Chile is one of the countries with the largest number of active volcanoes. The Mapuche people indigenous to the area have a legend about a creature named Sheriff, who is capable of living in the magma of the volcanoes and would even require their heat to survive. According to the legend, the origins of the Sheriff go back to the very origin of the Earth. However, there have been witnesses and cryptozoologists who have suggested that the legends about this being have a real basis. They have been based on the fact that there are worms in the deepest part of the ocean which live at very high temperatures and which extract their nutrients from the minerals expelled by volcanic cracks. They also say it may be a reptile or mammal that has evolved to feed on bacterial carpets and sulfur puddles near volcanoes. Although many witnesses claim to have seen it, there is still no reliable evidence of its existence. And you? Do you think the Sheriff could be based on a real creature? Without a doubt, these anecdotes involving volcanoes can make our hair stand on end. But what about planes? In this means of transport, we have also seen things that should not be imagined. Then you have to know what the 7 most frightening things seen in flight are. You can look it up here.